Thank you so much for joining me for my Strong Girl Summer full-length Pilates mat class. I have ball weights today. They're 2 pounds each. I know it doesn't seem like a lot, but by the end of the class, it will probably, most likely. I wouldn't go any heavier than 5 pounds. I prefer the balls so that you're not gripping on for dear life and affecting your forearms. So when using the ball and lying on your back, always keep your palm flipped to the ceiling. So if the balls are by your hips, the palm's not going to face the ground. You'll round in your shoulders most likely. Keep your palms nice and open to the ceiling. You're not gripping your ball too heavily then. And like I said, nice wide shoulders. So when you bring it up, you can leave your balls facing each other, but when you start to go back past your sternum or 12th rib on your back, you'll flip your balls up. So again, your palms are facing up towards the ceiling. I'll remind you of that a couple times in class, but I wanted to go over it now before we begin the exercises. Let's go ahead and start our warm-up. I'm going to place my feet pretty far from my sit bone so I can sit up nice and tall. My heels are separated. I want to keep them about sit bone distance apart, so they're pretty narrow. I'm already engaging my outer thigh and inner thigh. I'm able to sit up nice and tall. Bring the balls up by your hips. Inhale, exhale, tuck your tail. Roll all the way down to the mat. You'll most likely have to adjust your feet with you. From there, I'm going to bring the balls in my hands, rest my hands flat on the mat, my arms flat on the mat, and I'm going to bring my palms up to the ceiling, of course, right? Like we were just talking about. I'm going to take a few nice deep breaths before we add the weight of the balls to find a nice neutral spine and engage in my core. A lot of times when the weight's added, we like to flare in the back and lift our back ribs. We don't want that to happen. We want to sink our back ribs into the mat, but we want to leave a little lift from our 12th rib down to the top of our hip bones. But our hip bones to our tailbone, like a triangle, is going to be nice and flat against the mat. My shoulder blades are nice and wide. I have a nice soft collarbone, a nice long neck, and I'm drawing my ribs together in the front. So I'm not flaring them, which can also cause an arch in the back. So I'm gonna draw my ribs together and sink draw my ribs together in the front and sink my back ribs into the mat. From here, I'm going to inhale, exhale. I'm not squeezing my ball, but I'm going to float my arms off the mat just a little bit and lower. Inhale, exhale, lift your arms just a little bit. Hover, 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 just like an inch or two, and lower. While I continue doing this, what I'm focusing on is not rounding through the fronts of my shoulder blades. I'm just moving in my shoulder socket. So I'm going ahead and making sure that my shoulder blades are nice and flat, and I still have that nice wide collarbone. On this next one, we're going to inhale, exhale, leave our arms up at the top. Inhale, exhale, curl up, reaching the balls long for the end of the mat. I have a gentle bend in my elbow, because if I come up too far, again, I bring my shoulders up to my ears. And I'm going to lower. This entire time, I'm keeping a nice squeeze under my arms to keep my shoulders away from my ears as well. And lower. Inhale, exhale, curl up and reach. And lower. Inhale, exhale, curl up and reach. And lower. Now, not bringing our arms all the way to the mat, we're going to bring our arms up so that they're perpendicular with our legs. So not up to the ceiling, but so that we still have a nice squeeze in our underarms, and lower your arms back down to the starting position with our hover off the mat. Now bring them up slightly so they're perpendicular with your legs, and lower. When you bring your arms up, your fingers, or your ball will be reaching for where the wall and the ceiling meet most likely. Good. One more. And up. Now inhale, exhale to curl up, still keeping that same angle with your arms. Now reach your arms to the outside of the right knee and crunch up a little deeper. Release that extra crunch, come through the center. Bring your arms to the left side, crunch up a little deeper and lower. Now through the center to the right. When you crunch, leave that opposite hip on the mat. You're never coming all the way down. You're coming up from your standard curl up just an inch or two deeper. One more time to each side. to shift. Come back through center. Reach the left fingertips down to the edge of the mat without moving your hips. This is more of a banana oblique exercise. So think of the top of your shoulder reaching down, but nothing else in your body is moving. Now here's 4. Squeeze under the arm more so you're not feeling it in your neck. Rest your head, neck, and shoulders. Rest your arms briefly. We're going to draw our knees up to tabletop and extend them up to the ceiling like a post. Don't bring them past that and tuck your tail. Hover your arms up off the mat slightly. Inhale, exhale, curl up, reaching your fingertips long. We're gonna scissor 8 times on each leg. Right leg in first. Pull the leg in with your abs, pulse, pulse, and switch. Pull your left leg in with your abs and pulse, pulse. Shoot energy out of your toes to really lengthen. Squeeze under the arms. See if you can curl up a little deeper. Try not to allow your sacrum to shift as you pulse your legs. Now, draw your knees in your chest. Rest your balls on tops of your shins, on the tops of your kneecaps, and gently rock from side to side. We have one more exercise with the balls hovering by our sides. So, rest your arms down by your side all the way to the mat first. Bring your legs straight up to the ceiling. Turn them out to Pilates feet. Squeeze your heels strongly together and give me a little itty bitty bend in your legs. So your legs are now forming a nice long diamond shape. With the assistance of the balls, we're going to do the double lower leg lift here. While we're doing this, really pull down on your core so that you're not moving in your neutral spine, but try to lower your legs even lower since you have the assistance of the weight of the balls. Inhale, exhale to curl up, reach long. Look through that little diamond shape in your legs. Now lower your legs for 1, 2, 3. Squeeze your heels strongly. Exhale, up, 2, 3, and lower. 2, 3. Squeeze under your arms more. Don't crunch your chin to your chest. Think of this more as a hundreds position here, right? Squeeze your glutes, squeeze your inner thighs, rotate the femur in the hip socket. Here's 5. Here's 6. And exhale, 2, 3, 2 more. That's it, really squeeze those heels. Exhale, 2, 3, 1 more. Lift, 2, 3. Don't lose your curl. Drop the balls. Lower your legs to working level. It's hundreds time. We're going to work in the diamond shape as we inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. You'll probably find that since you dropped the balls, it's a little harder to keep your legs a little lower, but you can. So drop your legs an inch and let's see how it goes. Really draw those heels. Really rotate the femur in the hip socket. Really squeeze those glutes. Think of narrowing in the pelvis. Keep that same reach with your shoulders away from your ears that we were working on earlier. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 more sets. Final set. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Don't lose your curl up. Gently hold on behind your knees. Rock up to sitting tall. Whew. We're going to stretch our legs long out in front of us. We're going to flex our feet. We're going to do a 2-count spine stretch. I'm going to go ahead and lay the balls right next to my hips. My feet are separated a little bit wider than hips distance. I'm sitting up nice and tall, drawing my ribs in, stacking my shoulders over my hips. I'm going to float my hands up, not up to my shoulders, up in front of my sternum and 12th rib, right before your ribs curtain, so that I can retain that engagement underneath my arms. Let's do 2 spine stretch exercises without the ball. And then if you'd like to add the balls for the remaining 4, you can. The key to adding the balls is not to shrug your shoulders. So we're going to stay right here. We're going to inhale, crease at the sternum and look down at our thighs. Exhale. Round over the ball and looking at my knees. If I'm like this, pull your shoulders down for the ball. I'm going to inhale, pull back to the sternum crease, beginning exercise, and then exhale to stack my spine tall. Inhale, begin to articulate from the tip top of my head to my sternum. Exhale to run over my legs. Inhale to pull back. Exhale to sit up tall. If you like to add on, grab the balls. Don't round in your shoulders. It'll be too much for your upper body. Inhale, crease. Exhale, round. Inhale, pull back. Exhale, pull up. While you're doing this, allow the balls to help deepen your exercise. One more. Shake your legs together all the way. Don't lose the flex. Bring your balls to the tip tops of your shoulders. We're going to do a spine twist here. If you are not swinging or unnecessarily cranking your spine, we do have an add-on for that. It is at your own risk. So you have to make sure that you're not swinging your arms right though. So I'm going to inhale, exhale, begin to rotate to the right. And come back through center, and exhale, rotate to the left. The entire time, my elbows are in my periphery. I'm not swinging them wildly behind me. One more, and then we'll add on. Now the back hip stays grounded the whole time, just like the beginning exercises that we were doing. So hug a moon, we are going to be doing that in a minute. But if this is hug a tree, you flip your elbows down, your palms up. Here's hug a moon. Doing this will help you to engage down the backs of your shoulder blades and engage your lats when we do this exercise. So hug a moon position. Don't swing your arm wildly. We're going to inhale, exhale, rotate to the right. Inhale through center, rotate to the left. Sit up nice and tall. See how tall you can sit. As you rotate, don't allow your back hip bone to come up. While I feel this in my shoulders, I don't feel it in my neck. So really squeeze in our arm. If you feel it, bend your elbows a little bit more. Now come through center. Rest the balls real fast. Go ahead and pull one arm across the body. We have some more arm work to do. So we're going to keep our balls. We're going to keep our heels about sits bones distant apart. We're going to reach the balls in front of us, again in the hug a moon position, right? Inhale, exhale, tuck your tail, roll back. And now articulate up to sitting up tall. And exhale, articulate back. We're going to do 5 here, and then we're going to add on some biceps curls. Make sure you're dropping your belly button to your spine. Try not to flat back. On this last one, we're going to stay back. And now we're going to bicep curl by just bending at the elbow, bringing the balls to our shoulders and releasing forward. Don't drop your elbows to do this. Keep your bicep where it is and just bend and straighten your arm. You might find that you've rolled back a little bit too far to maintain your curl up. This is an arm exercise, but it's actually more challenging for your core. So you might have to come up just a little bit so that the balls don't throw you off balance. Up to sit it up tall. Don't release your arms yet. Exhale, roll back. Now one at a time. Right and left. Here's 2. We're going to 5 on each side. 3, 4, and 5. Curl up. Don't release your arms yet. Inhale, exhale, articulate back. Now, bring your arms up for the wall and the ceiling meet and lower to your sternum. Wall and ceiling and sternum. Here's 3. We're going to 10. Here's 4. Here's 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. Drop that belly button to your spine. Don't flat back. And 10. Articulate up. Drop the balls by your hips real fast. Bring your legs, your feet together. Separate your knees into a wide diamond. Go ahead and run over your legs. Breathing deeply. You can take your arms and thread them underneath your legs if you'd like.
flattening your palms to the ground so you're not hanging onto your legs. Breathing into your back.
We have more arm work to do, guys. Consider this about halfway done with this arm series. Now articulate up. All right, let's move on. We're going to be working in a T position. So when we come out to the T, we're not straight out to the side. We're slightly in front, so we're really able to engage in our body. So it's more of a V position almost. Otherwise, we're gonna whoop, go straight backwards. And most likely flare the ribs. So no matter what, we'll start right here. Hands in front of us. Inhale, exhale, tuck your tail, roll back. Bring your arms to the T, and now bicep curl for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the arms in front and articulate up. Inhale, exhale, tuck your tail, roll back, arms to the T. One at a time, T bicep curls, right and left. And 2, and left. Squeeze under the arms so you're dropping the shoulders. One more set on each side. Arms to the front and articulate up. Now we're gonna do hug a tree, articulate up, hug a moon, and articulate back up after that. The hug a tree is only going to 6, hug a moon is only going to 6. Inhale, exhale, tuck your tail, roll back. Bring the arms to the hug a moon position where the balls are touching in the center. The balls are in front of your sternum, fall from open to the side, and squeeze it back on the exhale. Imagine that your arms are sliding back and forth across the table, so they're not going up or down. Here's 4, 5, woo, and 6. Bring your arms back out in front of you, articulate up. Take a deep breath, articulate back. Leave your arms where they are, bring them to the VT position, and bring them straight into the ceiling, not biceps by ears, you roll back, and down. 6, 5, 4, 3, drop the belly to the spine, 2, and 1. Bring them forward, articulate up, pause by your hips, find that wide dagger position. Round over your legs. You can thread the arms underneath the calves if you'd like. Breathing into the vertebrae along the back. All right, let's go to side lying legs. Articulate up. We're going to do side lying legs a little differently today because I'd like to do some add-on with some side bending. So I'm going to put my balls right down here to the side of my mat, which I'm not particularly fond of because it makes it a little awkward on the transitions, but they're out of the way. So I'm going to start right here. I have my shoulder directly over my elbow, my palms flat. I'm lifting up out of my side closest to the mat. I know that oftentimes we bring our feet slightly in front of us for stability, but line your toes up with the tip top of your head and then bend your bottom leg for stability. You should have more of an equal weight from your hip or from your knee to your hip, and this will ensure that you're not rocking back on your sacrum for this series of exercises. Squeeze under the arm as if you're trying to squeeze an orange under your arm. You can place your hand on your hip, your hand behind your head, or your arm over your head if you're really looking to increase that exercise. Now, bring that top leg in parallel up to hip height. If you're up any higher, you'll know it because you're gonna rock back on that sacrum. We don't want that. Flex the foot. Now, from the hip height, we're just gonna pulse up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now, bring it back to hip height, keeping it flexed, bring it forward, and bring it back right in line with your head, not behind you. And here's 2, and back. Here's 3, if you want your arm over your head. Here's 4. Here's 5. Wherever you want, guys. You can put fingertips down here, but try not to lean into it. We want to keep our body totally in line. Here's 9. Lift up out of sight, and 10. Now, rotate the femur in the hip socket. Bring that foot to a parallel. Don't bring your legs straight up. You're going to rock back. we want to bring the leg forward at an angle to where the wall and the ceiling meet in front of us. So kick it up and lower 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, lift it up, squeeze that orange. Arm here, arm here, arm here. Now, 10 medium bender ball size circles in one direction. Rotate the femur in the hip socket to turn that foot out. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and reverse. 2, 3, woo, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, we're gonna do some side bending on our knee here. So if you have a knee problem, please find a towel, a roll-up yoga mat, place it under your knee. And if you have wrist issues, please feel free to do this on your forearm, but it will be more shoulder heavy here. I'm going to come up onto my palm of my hand. I'm gonna put more weight in the pads of my fingers than in the break of my, than in the meat of my palm near the wrist, so it doesn't break as much. I'm going to slide my hand forward so my hand is in line with my knee that's bent. I'm going to bend my knee a little bit more so it's more perpendicular with the end of the mat. My leg is back in parallel. I'm squeezing my arm under the hip socket. My fingertips are pointing to the end of the mat. My arm is long down by my leg. I'm going to slide it forward just a scotch so my toes are almost aligned with my front knee. From there, I'm going to squeeze my glutes and press my hips up forward, coming into a side bend, bringing my arm to a T, or if I so choose, reaching over with my head, lifting up out of my side as if I'm reaching over a barrel. I'm going to sit back on my hip, bring my hand back down. Inhale, exhale, lift. This is a more advanced mermaid. We're going to do regular mermaid later. This one's a little different. From here, we're going to add on. But if you don't like the add-on and you want to continue with this variation of the side bend, please do so. We're going to inhale, exhale, lift my leg at the same time. And lower everything back down at the same time. And lift my leg. And lower everything back down at the same time. One more. Let's add on. Leave your leg up at hip height. If it's up too high, you're going to rock back. Don't do that. So leave it at hip height. And now lift and lower, keeping the leg lifted. And lift. And one more. And lower. Whew. From there, we're going to go ahead and find our balls. We're going to do a few more rollback variation exercises, not with arm work. The balls are more going to help the load of our body to increase the curvature of our spine, or the C-shaped curve of our spine, keeping space between every vertebra, but without as much pressure because the load of our balls is going to help us with this exercise. So I'm going to reach the arms in front of me again for my sternum 12th rib, slight bend in my elbows. Inhale, exhale, tuck my tail, roll back. From there, I'm going to bring my right leg to tabletop and lower it. And my left leg to tabletop and lower it. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Really squeeze under those arms. Inhale and exhale. Inhale. Belly button to spine. Nice lift in my chin, looking in front of me. Keep that right leg up. Now toe dip it away and lift. Don't allow your body to shift. Just allow the leg to move in the hip socket. So if you feel your body shifting, your toe doesn't have to touch the mat. Place the foot down. Inhale, exhale, left leg up. Now toe dip. Again, if you feel your body on this side shifting, don't touch the toe to the mat. Really grind in. Ooh, squeeze those abs and see if you can go a little deeper from there. Here's 4. And 5. Lower the foot. All right, guys. It's time to do the other sideline legs. It's nice to do different sideline legs. It can be a lot more challenging, right? So, I'm going to bring my shoulder directly over my elbow. I'm going to lift up out of my side. I'm going to match, I'm squeezing an orange under my arm. instead of bringing my feet forward, I'm going to stack my feet directly under my body so I have a straight line from the tip top of my head out through my toes. I'm going to bend my bottom knee for stability. Sorry, I'm on the crease of my mat and that was not comfortable. I'm going to float my top leg up to hip height, up too high, and you're going to bend down towards the mat. Flex your foot. Now using your outer glute, just pulse up. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now keeping it flexed, bring the foot forward and bring it back in line with your body. Now, your hand can be on your hip. Your hand can be behind your head. Your hand can be extended over your head. Whatever you prefer. If you're having trouble maintaining stability, place a couple fingertips down, but don't lean into it. Eight, 9, and 10. Bring your foot down, turn it out to Pilates V. Again, we're going to angle it up to where the wall and the ceiling meet. Don't allow your hips to shift back. We want to stay out of our sacrum and right up on our side. Squeeze that orange under your arm, hand on your hip, hand behind your head, hand reaching over. Again, last option, light fingertips in front of you. So make sure that you can try to see your heel the whole time. Here's 7, 8, 9, 10. Keep it at hip height and 10 small circles. 1, 2, or medium, or better ball size. That's what I said. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Reverse. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Rest your leg down. Bring it to parallel. Again, we're going to side bend from our knee. So if you'd like a mat or a rolled up yoga mat or a rolled up towel for underneath your knee, please find it. If you have wrist issues, please feel free to do this on your forearm. Otherwise, I'm going to take my hand, I'm going to bring it underneath. So I'm going to start underneath my shoulder, and then I'm going to slide it forward slightly so that it's aligned with my knee. So that when I come up onto my side, I'm lined up already, and I'm not twisting my body backwards because of where my hand is. I'm going to bring my toe in line with my knee as well, because when I lift up my glutes and press them forward and line up my glutes with my knee, everything from my body is going to come forward. So I'm going to scooch back on my mat a little bit, so I go whoop, sliding off the front, arm long down my side, 3 in this position, 3 in the medium intensity, 3 in the higher intensity. Inhale, exhale, squeeze your glutes, lift up. You can bring your arm to a T, you can reach it overhead, squeeze your glutes strongly, sit back, 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 back with control, bring your hand down and squeeze it up. And lower with control, and squeeze it up. And lower with control. Adding on, lift your arm, lift your leg. And lower your arm, lower your leg. Lift your arm and lift your leg. Lower your arm and lower your leg. Lift your arm, lift your leg. Lower your arm, leave your leg up if you so choose. And lift your arm, leaving your leg up. And lower, leave your leg up. And leave your leg up. And lower leg up. One more. And lower everything. Great job, guys. I'm going to locate my balls real fast. I'm going to place them on the end of my mat. Let's do some cat-cow. If you're feeling strongly about your wrists, you can do it on your knuckles if you'd like. We are going to add on to a knee hover here as a beginner sort of plank exercise. So I'm going to come to a quadruped position. My shoulders are stacked over my wrists. My hips are stacked over my knees. I'm not swaying out my low back. I've drawn my abs up and in. I've tucked my tail ever so gently. I'm not round back, but I'm not sway back either. I'm a nice neutral spine. Let's take one more nice breath here. Now, starting with the tail, I'm going to bring it up to the ceiling and allow the cow to travel from my tail to my head first.
articulate at my head first, looking down, and allow the articulation to travel down my entire spine to my tailbone. And then I'm going to start my tail and articulate out.
Guys, don't allow your tail to shift back like this to find this position.
It does require a little bit of glute work to stay here. So squeeze your glutes, lift your tail, leave it directly over your knees, and lift. Now drop your head to bring it to your tail. Now come back to neutral.
Don't sway out in your low back. Tuck your toes.
Bring the inside aspect of your elbows to point to the end of the mat.
Inhale, exhale, hover your knees an inch and hold it. And lower. Oh, I'm sorry, my nose itches, of course, right? Whenever you're doing something hard. Exhale, lift. Just an inch, guys, just an inch. The lower you hover, the harder it is. Belly button to spine, nice long neck, straight line from your head through your tail, and lower. On this next one, we'll be adding on, or if you so choose not to add on, just hold it. But we're gonna be marching the feet on this. So, inhale, exhale, lift. Now, bring that back leg back, and lower, and left leg. Squeeze the glute to do it. Look down and don't allow your hips or your body to shift. It's just a tiny movement. One more to each side. Drop the knees, bring the toes together, the knees apart, press back to a child's pose.
Here we're going to articulate our spine up, 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 up.
I'm going to find my balls. Of course, right? I'm going to tuck my tail and roll back. I'm just going to leave my balls by my hips. I'm not actually going to use them for the bridge, but we will use them in just a minute. So I'm going to walk my heels in right up against my glutes, right? It's going to assist with my bridge. I have a nice neutral spine. I can rest my hands on my balls. You're not going to do anything, right? Inhale, exhale, hurt my spine, tuck my tail. Squeeze my glutes up. Make sure you're not flaring in your ribs here, but really drawing them together and driving your knees over your toes. Articulate down. Inhale, exhale, tuck your spine, roll up. Really driving those knees over those toes. Squeezing the glutes to lift the bridge higher and roll down. One more. We're looking for a straight line from our knees to our hips to our shoulders. And articulate down. From here, we're going to be doing a hinge bridge, which is where we take everything from the tail to behind the tips of the shoulder blades and lift it up at the same time and lower it at the same time. So inhale, exhale, squeeze and lift. Hold it and lower. Inhale, exhale, squeeze and lift. Don't allow your knees to go wide or whack into each other, right? Make sure your hips are even and lower. One more, hold it up. Float your hands above your sternum and 12 rib. Now, without allowing your ribs to shift from side to side, just moving in the shoulders, bring the right hand back and the left hand down by the hip. Don't allow the right hand to go past your nose or the left hand to go down past your hip. Now switch. Left hand above your nose, right hand above the hip. And switch slowly and with control so there's no shifting. Switch. One more to each side. Hands up over the sternum. Hinge bridge down. Now, you continue with the hinge bridge. You can continue with just the arm scissoring. Otherwise, we're going to add marching to our arm scissoring in the hinge bridge. Inhale, exhale, squeeze it and lift. Now, as I march my right knee to tabletop, my left hand is going to come back to above my nose. My right hand is going to come to above my hip. I'm firmly grounded through my left leg. Nothing shifted in my body, and I come back up. I establish the weight in my right leg. My left hand comes down above my hip. My right hand comes above my nose. My left leg shifts. My left leg marches up to tabletop, and I lower. Everything comes back over my sternum. I reestablish that weight, and I switch. And I come back up. I'm moving slowly with control. I'm squeezing my glutes even tighter. I have one more to each side. I'm making sure I'm not flaring in my ribs. Drawing my, my hands came away dry. Drive my ribs to my hips strongly. And lower. And I hinge, bridge, down. From there, I'm going to find my balls. Woo, float them up over my sternum 12 rib. Don't straighten your arms all the way. Keep a nice gentle bend. March one leg up to tabletop, other leg up. Inhale, exhale to curl up, reaching my balls for my ankles.
From there, I'm going to extend my left leg, and my balls are going to reach for where the wall and the ceiling meet. I'm going to lower them back down to my ankles. I'll extend my right leg. Balls will reach for the wall and the ceiling and lower. While I'm doing this, I'm not crunching my chin to my chest. I'm not necessarily tapping my balls to my ankles so much as lowering and lifting them by moving in the shoulder joint. Draw the tips of your ribs down to the tips of your hips, but don't allow your tail to tuck. The balls are actually assisting you to curl up a little deeper. So they're adding a challenge, but they're also adding some assistance. Reach the balls for your ankles. If you need to take a break, please do so. Otherwise, extend your legs to working level, bring your arms to the T, and then pull everything back in. Now, I'm extending out in parallel. I'm turning out to Pilates V at the top. I'm turning back to parallel, and I'm pulling it back in. So I'm working in parallel to V, parallel back in. So I'm working my glutes pretty strongly. Here's 5. Squeeze under the arms. 6. Allow your abs to support your head, not your neck. 1 more. Now, rest your head, neck, and shoulders. Rest the balls on top of your shin. Not your kneecaps. Gently rock from side to side. We have 1 more oblique exercise here, and then we're going to be moving on. Oh, I'm so sorry. We're going to be moving on to some back extension work. So I'm going to take my balls into the hug a tree position over my sternum 12 for my knees are tabletop. Inhale, exhale to curl up, reaching the balls for the knees. Now I'm going to keep the balls very close to my side as I rotate to the right. I'm going to come back up through center, keeping the balls in a hug a tree, rotate to the left, very close to my thighs so that I don't rock off my back hip. And I'm going to extend my left leg as I reach to the right and through center, and my right leg as I reach to the left. Don't lose your curl up. Here's 2. Squeeze the balls in the center, squeeze under the arms. If you don't pull your knee into your chest, it won't get in the way of your arms. We're gonna really be able to use some back extension work after this, right? Here's 6. Here's 7. Exhale as you reach the balls to the side. Inhale through the center. Now reach back up to the center. Then rest your head, neck, and shoulders. Let's go ahead and separate our feet and windshield wiper our knees gently from side to side. Try not to lift the hip too high. You don't want your back ribs to rock off as you're rotating your knees, or windshield wiper in your knees. All right. We're going to extend our legs, bring our balls, roll onto our stomachs. So it's been a while since I've done an exercise like this, but I used to do a lot of the foam roller exercises, which I'll probably bring back now, where I would roll on the arms, really squeeze under the arms to pull the shoulders away from the ears on the foam roller and articulate up into a swan using more of the back muscles. We're going to be using that the same way. So to set up for this exercise, I'm going to extend my balls. Imagine the uprights in your reformer here. They're usually a little wider than your shoulders, right? So we want the balls a scotch wider than our shoulders. We want to place right behind our wrist on the balls. We're going to go ahead and rest our heads onto the mat. From there, I'm going to squeeze my legs together, squeezing my inner thighs, squeezing my glutes. I'm not tenting my hips, so I'm really squeezing my glutes to open up at the front of my hip flexors. I'm drawing my belly button up towards my spine and wrapping my ribs. From there, I have a scotch more weight on the outside edge of my wrist or my pinky blade edge. From there, I'm going to pull in, and the ball will slide down my hand as I draw my belly button up and in and articulate up into swan. And then I'm going to press away, belly button up, 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 ribs up, 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 and down. And inhale to lift. down. Now from there, I can keep my hands on top of the balls, or I can rest them off to the side if that's bothering me. But without moving anything in the front of my body, I'm going to squeeze my glutes and float my left leg up off the mat and lower. Completely straight leg, guys. I'm going to do the right leg. Really shoot energy out of your toe to assist with this. And left leg. And right leg. Now let's do the arms. Let's do the left arm and the right arm. If you're unable to do this without lifting your shoulder up on the balls, please take your hands off of the balls. Now do a deep inhale. Exhale, lift everything, including your head so your ears are between your biceps. And begin swimming. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can you draw your belly to your spine and lift up a little deeper? Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Squeeze your glutes. Squeeze your thighs. Shoot energy out of your legs. Final breath. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Stop. And then lower with control. Place your balls back under your wrists. Give me a little bit more weight. Locate that swan body position one more time, where you're drawing your belly button up towards your spine. Your ribs are wrapped, your glutes are squeezed, your inner thighs are squeezed. Now make your legs light. We're gonna do a modified swan dive. So place more weight on your outside wrist, not all the way on it, but a little bit more weight. So you're really engaging under your arms, pulling your shoulders away. Now, pull up to a swan, and as you press away, bring your legs up behind you. Now pull up to a swan. This is slow and with control. Press it away. Inhale to lift, and exhale to lower your body, lifting your legs. 2 more. Inhale to lift your body, lowering your legs. Exhale to lower your body, lift your legs. Final 1. Now lower your legs. And now press back to a child's pose. We're going to take a couple nice deep breaths here. I'm going to articulate that. I'm going to locate my glasses because I have forgotten the next exercise. Oh, just kidding, there it is. So we are going to do the open leg rocker. We're going to go into corkscrew, and then we're going to do some light little reverse ab curls for just a little reverse body work real fast. And then we are going to do push-ups. We're going to add on to the push-ups, so if ever you want to go back to a previous exercise, you can feel free to. I'm going to keep my feet together. We haven't done any body rolling or any rolling exercises yet. We're going to do my personal favorite, which is open leg rocker. We are not doing teaser this class, so I will give a challenge at the end of open leg rocker for anybody who would like to come down into the corkscrew and a teaser. Otherwise, don't feel like you have to do it. I'm going to scooch my glutes into my heels. I'm going to hold on somewhere on my shins, below my ankle or above my patella. If I am unable to accommodate that position or find the position due to an inflexibility issue, I can hold on, squeezing under my arms, underneath my knee on my thigh. Otherwise, I'm going to hold on to the fronts of my shins and extend my legs, hopefully keeping them in line with my shoulders. I'm going to give a little bit more weight to my pinky blade edge, and I'm going to pull down on my legs. It's going to help me to maintain my body position and to roll a little bit easier, right? I'm going to inhale back, roll into the tips of my shoulder blades, and exhale up. Inhale back to the tips. We have 6 more. 6. Ooh, that was not a good roll. That was a rocky roll. If you feel your roll not rolling down equally on both sides, try to adjust it. Here's 6. Squeeze under the arms. 7. And 8. Hold it at the top. Everyone who wants to do the challenge, hold it here. Otherwise, bring your toes down in the center. Extend your legs long in front of you. Otherwise, bring your feet together, tuck your tail, roll back, bring your feet to the ceiling. That did not go as slowly as I would like for it to, but there you have it. weight of your balls in your hands here, I think. We're gonna do corkscrew one. In parallel, imagine that you have 2 rebar beams through both of your hips. These hips are not going to shift, but you're going to draw your toes to your nose ever so slightly. Bring them to the left, bring them down to the end of the mat, bring them to the right, and bring them back up to your nose. Don't tuck your tailbone to do this, use your abs. Go to the right now, down to the end, to the left, and up. We have 2 more each direction. Left, end of the mat, right, and up, right, end of the mat, left, and up. One more, both directions. Now, draw your knees into your chest. Don't swing your legs like this to move your reverse ab curl. We're going to inhale, exhale, and turn our spine and tuck our tail slightly. And lower, find neutral spine. Imprint your spine and try to tuck. And lower, and release. You can lift, I'm going to lift my arms up so you can see. I'm going to imprint here, and then we're going to tuck. It's very small. And release. We're going for not lifting your shoulder blades to do this. We have 4 more. Wrap the ribs. Don't allow your back to arch. Imprint and lift. And 1 more. Good. Rest your feet down. Release your balls. Inhale, exhale to curl up. We are going to do a push-up series now. So we're going to be doing 4 variations. If at any time you want to go back to a previous variation, please feel free to do so, or find a stretch of your choosing. The first thing we're going to do is a few forward folds. I'm in a Pilates V. I'm going to be doing traditional Pilates push-ups, which are done in the Pilates V position. I'm going to inhale my arms up, leaving my biceps from my ears. I'm going to squeeze my glutes as I articulate down so my hips don't drive behind me. Inhale, begin to articulate up. Try to keep your hips directly over your ankles again. And lowering my arms. From there, I'm going to lift and articulate down. Squeezing my glutes strongly. Inhale and lift. On this next one, we're going to be continuing with knee push-ups. They're my favorite push-ups because they are my most successful push-ups. Now squeeze your glutes and down. Now when we walk out for push-ups, we're going to be moving our hands 4 times total, 2 times each. So I'm going to move right hand, left hand, left hand. I'm on my toes. I'm going to drop to my knees. Don't sweat my low back. Tuck your tail slightly, just like we did for cat-cow. My wrists are underneath my elbows, or my wrists are underneath my shoulders. I'm going to bend my elbows back towards my hip for a tricep push-up and straighten. We tricep push-up, we straighten. 1 more. Now, rise up to the balls of your feet. Walk back 4 times with your hands. 1, 2, 3, 4. Squeeze and tuck and lift, 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 and lower. This next time, we will be doing the push-ups on our toes. Again, in the Pilates V position. Inhale, articulate down your biceps by your ears. Walk out 4 times with your hands. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now tricep push-up again. Lower and lift. Don't sway out your low back. Here's 2. And here's 3. Now walk back 1, 2, 3, 4. And articulate up, 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 up. And lower your hands down by your side. Now we're going to be lifting 1 foot, almost like it's marching in a plank position, but just by squeezing the glutes and lifting and lowering. And lift and lower. Don't allow your hips to splay or getting too much of a twist in your back. If you're uncomfortable, you can just hold the plank. Inhale. Articulate down. Walk out 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Lift your left leg and lower the Pilates V. Lift your right leg. Lower Pilates V. 1 more time each side. And right leg. Walk back 1, 2, 3, 4.
This is our last variation. We're going to be doing 2 one-legged push-ups on each side. So lift one leg, push up, lower the leg, lift the other leg, push up, lower the leg, and repeat. Final set, guys. Then we're going to do side bends, and we're done. Walk out, 1, 2, 3, 4. Lift your left leg and push up, tricep push up. Right leg, tricep push up. Left leg, tricep push up. These are not very low for me. So whatever you're doing is great. Walk back, 1, 2, 3, 4. Squeeze and lift. Give yourself a little lift of your necklace or chest toward the wall in the ceiling meet and lower. From there, we're going to come to the center, still in Pilates seated position. Lift my arms up, biceps by my ears, and reach for the wall, where the wall and the ceiling meet on the right. And lift. I'm keeping equal weight through both of my feet. I'm not shoving out one hip to make this happen. Now reach up and over a barrel to the right, and reach up and over a barrel to the left. Don't allow your arms to travel further than they are in the center, and imagine you're in between 2 panes of glass. Now at the top, exhale it down, and we're all done. Guys, thank you so much for joining me today. If you have any questions or need any modifications, please feel free to reach out. Thanks for joining me.